All right, so now let's move into DEI. Is it really dead? So many companies have been in the headlines recently, most notably Target. But the list also includes McDonald's, Disney, Ford, Meta. And if y'all don't know what Meta is, that's Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, Threads, WhatsApp.
Thank you, Cameron. All of which have announced they are either ending or scaling back their DEI programs. So, for those who don't know, DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and was put in place to create a more equitable and equal and inclusive. Oh, equitable, I'm sorry. I wrote this so I could be clear. To create more equitable, as in equal, and inclusive workplace or place of learning for marginalized communities who have been historically discriminated against. So before we discuss, I want to note some of the companies who have stood on business and refused to cave into the political pressure to end DEI. And those companies, to name a few, are Apple, Microsoft, Ulta. I was about to say Ultra.
No,
Ulta
don't mess up
Beauty.
the people name. Ulta Beauty.
Goldman Sachs, and of course, Costco. And Costco, because of this, has been going viral lately, and they have seen a huge gain in shoppers, while Target has seen huge declines. As
Yeah, we
all
can't
know.
call it Target anymore. They just
So
Target.
let's talk about it. What do y'all think about that? What does this show?
Capitulation.
And some of these companies have just been changing the name to kind of like hide. I say don't hide.
So do you think they get a pass if they're still doing DEI, but they change the name
If
to
they're
hide
still
it?
doing DEI, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But frankly, stand on business. Don't change it at all. That's what I would do.
Well, a lot of the companies are, like I said, capitulating to because they're anticipating the reprisal
Nah,
from Trump.
Well, what
I
a lot
wanna
of
make
people don't know is that a lot of companies like Amazon
Yeah.
have federal contracts. So people might be like, well, why does Amazon have federal contracts? Well, Amazon has Amazon Web Services.
Right.
They host a lot of websites and applications, especially for the federal government. The White House website is hosted with AWS. At least it was the last time I checked. So that to lose that contract is probably tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah, so Trump can do something to them. That's why they probably got rid of it.
Yes.
But Target, Trump can't do anything to you, but we can.
Now, what I don't like. Now, Target, I'm not sure if Target had federal contracts. I don't really know why Target did what they did. But, you know, Target was in trouble like a few years back for getting rid of Pride Month merchandise. So I feel like Target
What
has
is they
been...
are they a Christian based
I
like
don't- I
these
don't-
other people?
I don't think so. I don't think they like the Hobby Lobby type. I'm not sure. But I just think that it is time for consumers to show these companies that you wouldn't have money to pay your light bill if
we
we
weren't
didn't
shopping
come
there.
spend our money with you.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these companies, they get very, what's the word?
Complacent
for
and
britches?
they get too cocky.
Yeah, cocky. Because they feel like, you know, I could do what I want. I make billions. I don't answer to nobody. But
Yeah.
you answer to your consumers.
And exhibit the motherfucking A. Target. Remember that.
So Target said, so another thing that happened is when I was doing the research for this, I wanted to, like, I remember everything that happened after George Floyd's murder. And I remember how all of these companies were talking about how much they were going to do for the Black community and how much they were committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I wanted to see who were those companies and what did they say then and what are they doing now? So Target said after George Floyd's murder that it would increase its black workforce by 20% over 3 years. So that would have been to 2023. establish an executive racial equity action and change committee, and create a program to help Black entrepreneurs develop products for Target.
So why did they decide to do that? Was it because of what happened to George Floyd, or was it because of some past history that they had within
Well, I might
that
be.
they
I think
wanted to correct? Or was it just because everyone was so, mostly everyone, was so appalled
I think
and
one,
outraged
it was
about-
cool to do. Two, I might have to
It was
fact
in
check
fashion.
myself on this, but I think that Target is headquartered
in Minneapolis?
in Minneapolis. So I
Oh,
think it was kind of
okay.
like close to home for them.
Oh, okay.
But they also said that they were going to commit to spending more than $2 billion with Black-owned businesses. And I do know that there has been some Black businesses that they put into their stores. But now they're rolling all of that back.
You mean the products?
Yeah, the products. And now they're rolling all of that back. And yes, before y'all ask, these initiatives are included in their scaling back of DEI, which I think is not cool.
Yeah, it's disingenuous.
Because it was cool for you to stand with everyone in 2020 when there was massive protests. And now that you feel like the political spectrum has swung back the other way, you want to be cool now with what? Racism? Like,
Yeah. Like, why is
So-
that cool?
y'all just need to understand that we not taking it no more. You don't get to pick us up and put us down when you want to. You fucked up. If it's fuck me, then fuck you. And that's the way I like it.
like Kendrick said.
But speaking of protests, this needs to be a whole nother episode that we do,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna ask the question now, but we're gonna expound on this maybe on a Pragmotiv Plus episode. Why they've had protests against this current administration every weekend in a lot of major cities. It's like they can't even fit them all on
Even-
the screen.
Even small town.
Even small towns that you wouldn't even think.
Yes.
You know, that's quote unquote red.
Even this
rural.
red area of Louisiana
Right.
that we live in.
Why you don't see no police with riot gear?
Yeah.
Not that I want police with riot gear, but
Because it's not a Black protest.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
y'all
that's-
y'all have pepper spray,
Right.
rubber bullets, zip ties, all those shields and military gear. Because we was protesting because one of y'all killed one of us again. And
but it wasn't just, you know, that's been going on. I mean, the protests started as more and more in Philando Castile. I could rip off the names of all that there was a LGBTQ person that was killed. I can't remember. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it.
So before we move on from this topic, I just wanted to bring something up that I was thinking about that really struck me. And it was, imagine if all of the people in this country was one person. That one person would be the boss of every private company, would control every private company in the country. Huh? Where I'm going?
trying to follow you.
I know. Just follow me. Just walk with me.
Okay.
So we all one person. This one person would control all of the companies in the country because this one person could decide where they would spend their money and where they wouldn't. This one person could hire and fire every person from the school board president to the mayor to the governor to the president by just voting them in and voting them out. That is the amount of power that we have collectively
No, I feel you. Okay.
that nobody realizes
yeah.
because we're too busy fighting each other over differences instead of seeing what we have in common.
Yeah.
We all want to be able to make it to the end of the month and have enough food and enough gas in a car that's
Have your
not
light
going to
bill
break
paid.
on the side of the damn highway.
Not riding on Maypops.
Exactly. have your lights on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all everybody wants.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a common thing. We all want the same thing. So why are we fighting each other?
On how to get there. Let's just get there.
Because there's been such dis and misinformation
In disengagement.
that people feel, well, I don't have this because of that one.
When you really don't have it because of the people who are constantly making your life worse.
Mm-hmm.